When it was revealed the Electoral Commission had been hacked, some pointed the finger at Russia. But the government has revealed those after the personal details of 40 million people were Chinese.
The Deputy Prime Minister,
Oliver Dowden, told the Commons hackers known as APT-31, or Judgment Panda, attempted to spy on parliamentarians. They didn't succeed, but the threat was real and serious, he said.
These actions demonstrate a clear and persistent pattern of behaviour that signals hostile intent from China. That is why the United Kingdom has today sanctioned 2 individuals and 1 entity associated with the Chinese state-affiliated APT-31 group for involvement in malicious cyber activity.
At the same time, the US announced sanctions and charges against the same hacking group, accusing them of sending over 10,000 emails to members of Congress, journalists and American companies in a decade-long bid to obtain sensitive data.
so far so good.
In Cumbria, to announce investment in the nuclear industry and nuclear deterrent,
And what we got over here then?
the Prime Minister said the government is alive to the threat posed by China.
It represents an epoch-defining challenge and also the greatest state-based threat to our economic security. So it's right that we take measures to protect ourselves, which is what we are doing. To give some specific examples, we've used our new national security investment powers to block investment from China into sensitive technology sectors like semiconductors. Our National Security Act and others means that we can take any other steps that we need to.
The whole of China's.
These MPs who've criticised China over issues from human rights to Hong Kong say they've been subject to hacking attempts, harassment and impersonation.
Using a fake email address, emailing all sorts of politicians around the world, saying that I'd recanted my views, also saying basically that I was a liar, all these sort of things.
The former Tory leader said the West had let China's behaviour go unchecked for too long, comparing it to appeasement in the 1930s. For people watching this who may be far from Westminster, they're not dissidents, they're not MPs, what exactly do they have to fear from China?
First of all, as they grow in power and potency, what happens is we are shrinking before them. So we've talked about not just China, but what we call the axis of totalitarian states, China, North Korea, Russia, Iran. They all work in concert now. The West has to wake up to the fact this is a challenge to the very way that we live our lives, to our belief in democracy, human rights, freedom of expression, freedom of worship.
The golden era of UK Beijing business may be over, but Chinese investment is still woven through our economy. Some warn our reliance on Chinese technology to power our smart devices risks our data and national infrastructure.
Most systems now are computers, basically. I mean, take a car is a computer on wheels, and the cellular module is the device through which connects to the internet and through which vast amounts of data go in and out. And indeed, which you could use if you sent malware down to it. If it's a Chinese cellular module, Chinese could send malware down it and stop it working.
President Xi Jinping was forming ties with other nations today. The London embassy said the cyber attack claims were anti-China political farce.